Not the way I can't video that one. What were you doing? They get you. I was really just going to do what you're doing and keep it work. See the way I would call. That's right. Billy allows it when we share the desk. It's the right way.
Just over here.
We got the option there. Did we dare to do it? No. That was only every single one now. Aye. I don't think it would have been a real old one, but no. Having been attacked by the Irish, and they were driven off, and the planters were taken prisoner, and a number of them killed afterwards, and that is all relatively well documented. So we were lucky enough to get a small grant from the Heritage Council, and
so you can see there's been new. Obviously, the building was reused, and after it was, so we think this building dates in the early 1600s. That Leonard Barish got a grant of land here in 1590 or so, and he was obliged then to build a fortified castle as part of that, so that they would.
Hey, what you said? I did.
So basically, in here, just quickly then. So we believe these two stories are part of the original plantation castle. We have these stone corbels projecting from the wall. We have these three musket loops on that side of the south elevation. That wall is buried on the outside. This wall is buried up until that level there on the outside when the 1760 street was built. So there's three musket loops or three musket slits over there, those embrasured openings, and there's four on this side. There's four on the first story and four on the ground story. So they're all facing slightly different directions, or slightly splayed slightly differently to give a different line of fire for the outside. We have these projecting stone corbels on this wall to support joists for a timber floor. So there's most likely a timber floor here, not a vaulted ceiling or anything like that, but timber floors. We have these beams on this level. See, these we believe these have fallen from these slats here. We don't know the date of those, obviously, whether they're more recent, when that was obviously changed here, or whether they predate that. So obviously those have to be timber dated or carbon dated to see when the tree was felled. This massive wall here has an embedded set of cantilevered sandstone steps, which are embedded directly into the wall when the wall was built. They're of a triangular profile, if you see, like this one. So underneath, it gives a smooth run up like that. There's a stone tunnel running underneath these steps and out under the plinth. Shallow, probably a latrine, we think. There's records of other castles with latrines running along the side walls out under. You can see that the door and the porch is very, very narrow, so it's not a big wide welcoming come into our lovely abode. It's a very narrow, defendable doorway. It has this very shallow stone arch on both sides, thick walls, and these stone stops projecting on this, embedded into the building, so to stop a door being pulled outwards. So a lot of these buildings would have had an iron grille there, so you couldn't pull it out, and then another timber door to the inside of that you could backfill here. You could batter in at this side, stop people forcing their way in. And it has a massive big hole in it there for putting your bolt into. You put your finger in there, it'll go right in. It's very, very substantial. It's a very massive defensive features in this building. So that's why we believe it to be part of the 17th century plantation castle. George explained to you where it was on the map. You can see, it's got an awful lot of those features, so it's really exciting. And so we'll possibly find a lot more in this area than about the castle, so it's great. A lot of work to do.
Thank you very much.
The grant of the Abbey of Clones was given to Sir Henry Duke in 1587, and part of the conditions of that land grant were that he built a fortified structure on the estate and man it with people of English stock. And it was, I think, applied to all plantation castles, although Monaghan was never a planted county. But he complied with that. And,
So this castle may be a result of that.
we think the original timber structure was probably erected up on the Monaghan Bailey, and this is a later stone structure that probably existed around 1630s, around about that period. So we think this is the castle that was defended from, by the settlers here in 1641. We think this was the castle.
So there's only preliminary work now, but you feel that that there's a good deal more, maybe a couple of years more
we're
work.
just at the very beginning of a journey here, because we have to do the preliminary archaeological survey work, and we're probably looking at 5-10 years of work here on the site.
Wow.
And every artifact that we...
down round you, George, we'll send them on down round in there.
Oh, yeah, that's grand. Yeah, that's grand.
And you have, is that an older map of the...
This is a map, this is the town as it looked in 1741. And this is the where we are today. In 1741, there seems to have been the castle wall here with a large doorway, a large building behind it. The High Cross had been shifted up to the Diamond. The previous Church of Ireland church is up here on the top of the Drumlin Hill. The Norman Monaghan Bailey is here.
Come back and tell me how you're going to.
I certainly will.
Thank you.
Next to 1:30, is that okay?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thank you. That's great, isn't it, though? Yeah, and you got the day for this as well. I know, it's been raining all week. George and I have been getting wet all week. I know. Heritage Week, I've been getting them soaked on Sunday at Rossmore. Absolutely drenched out of it, so this is great.
Steve Smith, TD Cavan Monaghan, Fianna Fáil. Your remit is now heritage and culture.
That's correct, a spokesperson on arts and heritage, so I'm delighted to be here in Clones today for the launch of their new latest finding on the castle grounds here in Clones, a historic and heritage village itself, our town I should say rather, and it's wonderful to be here as spokesperson on that particular topic, and I'm really looking forward to the tour later on this afternoon.
So if you just follow me, if half of you want to come inside.
So the new Ancient East Trail of the east of the island of Ireland is going to be of huge benefit to historical sites like this and attractions in towns that don't fall on the Atlantic Way. We've got our own significant and I suppose very important arts and heritage and historical sites to offer as attractions and tourist attractions in the area. So it's wonderful that this can be captured within that trail of the Ancient East, to have this these ancient grounds of the castle site here in Clones, in this heritage town.
The commercial life in Clones, as we know, has been hit over the years. So how do you feel that this initiative will help the community in Clones?
Well, it has indeed, of course, like a lot of border towns, it has been significantly impacted negatively, and of course with Brexit on the cards as well, there's a lot of uncertainty out there. So findings like this and historical sites like this will bring an added benefit to a town like Clones. And we talk about Main Street rejuvenation and town rural Ireland rejuvenation. This is a prime example of where something historical can attract visitors not only from all over the island of Ireland, but from far and wide abroad and globally to a town like Clones. And I see the lovely artists studios here in Clones, and you've got the Ulster Canal stores as well, and it's venues like that that can attract people and offer something unique as a town in Clones can in County Monaghan.